Good morning to one all. My name is K. Madan, working as assistant professor in Department of IT in St. Joseph College of Engineering. Today I am going to take a class on C programming. C programming is a base for all the languages today we are using. So C is a very fundamental language. It is one of the high level language they are using now itself also for various applications, for various web development applications. Before we are going to introduce the C programming, who introduced the C program? The C program is introduced by Dennis Rich. Dennis Ridge is a person who introduced this C programming. This C programming is a procedural oriented programming language. Procedural oriented programming language is nothing but you should follow the certain rules and regulations for writing this programming language. This is the Dennis Ridge is developing this language. Before that of C programming, we interested what are the things are used before that C programming. For example, before the C programming, they are using the various assembly level languages like Fortran, COBOL, like this, like ANSYS, like these languages are developed for before the C programming language. To overcome this drawbacks in that of assembly language, we are using that of C programming. In that C programming itself, first, what are the things they are used in the first generation? And that before going to interest, I just explain the generations of computers. In first generation, they are used vacuum tubes as a processors for accessing the data. In the second generation, they are using the transistors as a processor for accessing the data, for storing, retrieving, for running the programs. In the third generation, they are used ICs, integrated chips, were used for accessing the data. In the fourth generation, we are using microprocessors for accessing the data. Next, in the fifth generation, now we are using that artificial intelligence were used for developing and for processing the data. This is the generation where that in olden days they are used for as a processors for accessing the data. From that accessing the data, there should be different types of data sets are available. Machines like computers can understand only the low level language. Low level language is nothing that machine language. What is a machine language? Machine language is nothing but ones and zeros. So the machine can understand ones and zeros. So machine language is zeros and ones. This should be understood by that of machines. Okay, and then they are using that of assembly language. Assembly language is nothing but mnemonic codes where we are using in that of microprocessor kits. That should be that of assembly languages used. For example, and A1 comma A2 comma A3. Therefore, the data in the two operators should be added and should be stored in the third operator. This is of assembly level languages. For example, add, sub, mul. This is how the various operations were used in that of assembly language. To convert this assembly language to machine language, they are using the assembler. This is the main thing we are used in that of assembly language. This is a assembler. This assembler will convert the assembly language into the machine language. So machines can understand the zeros and ones. So they are using that assembler as a converter tool. And third one is that of high level language. What is high level language? What are the languages we are used now? Those are the high level languages like C, C++, Java, Python, JavaScript. These are the various high level language. In this high level language, we need to convert from high level to low level. So we are using that of compiler. This compiler will convert the high level language into that of low level language. This is the main introduction before we are entering into the of C programming. Okay, so the compiler will convert the high level language into the low level language. Low level language is understood by the machines like zeros and ones. This is the introductions. Okay, before that, next we are going to see about what is C programming. This C programming is a procedure oriented language. Why we show that this is a procedure oriented language? Because it always starts with that of header file hash include stdio.h, standard input output.h. Therefore, there is a header file followed by that of main followed by that of variable declarations, and then variable declarations. These are the functions. Function variable declaration followed by that of function declaration. So these are the steps where we are using in that of C programming. Okay, so that's why only we say C is a programming language. That is a procedure oriented language. Okay, this is a C. Okay, in this C, first we are show what are the different data types are used in that C. The data types, what are the data types used in C? In the data types, we are using mainly integer, float, and then character. It should be named in the name of int, float, and character. Integer is nothing but the data should be where, what are the data? The data should be in that of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. These numbers are represented by using that of data types. And for that of float, it should be in that of real value numbers. For example, it should be of 1.1, 2.6, 3.87. The decimal values numbers should be represented in that of float. In that of character, the names, what are the names? For example, Karthik. Like that, this character's name should be represented by using the data type char. These are the various data types are used in that C. Okay, and other one is that of keyword. What are the keywords? These keywords are unique and it should not be used as a variable name or function name anywhere in the C programming. What are the, there should be n number of keywords. Nearly 32 keywords are available in the C for accessing, for using this. For example, the keywords are int, float, char, double, main, else, if, for. These are the various keywords. Like this, various keywords are available in the C programming languages. Okay, and next what this is going to show is operators. In the C, we can use various number of operators like arithmetic operator, assignment operator, relational operator, increment or decrement operator, bitwise operators. Like that should be n number of operators are available. We can see one by one. First one is a arithmetic operator. Arithmetic is nothing but it is used for that of adding, subtraction and multiplication operations. We are using that of arithmetic operation. For example, add, sub, mul. For example, a plus b, a minus b, a star b. Like this operations we can use this arithmetic operators. And second one is of assignment operators. Assignment operator is nothing but for assigning any data to that of variable. For example, integer a equal to 10. So the 10 is a value that should be assigned to that of variable a. There should be that of assignment operator. And third one is that of relational operator. Relational operator is nothing but for accessing less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, if age greater than or equal to 18 is eligible for voting. So like that, these conditions are used by the of relational operators. And next one is that of increment or decrement operator. It is used for increasing the values. For example, I just given integer a equal to 20 and then a plus plus means the next value will be that of a equal to 21 will be assigned for increasing the data, for decreasing the data. For example, if I just given a minus minus means the a values next value should be that of 19 for decrementing the operator. These are the operators where you are using. And next one is that of logical operators. They are used for logical operations like and, or, NAND, NOR, like this operations, these logical operators are used. Okay, this is the operators where we are used in that of C. And next is a we are using that of input output statement. What are the input and output statements are used in that of C? In input statement, we are using scanf. Okay, scanf is one of the main important for input statement as a scanf. And next one is a get string. Okay, and third one is a get char. These are the various functions are used for input statements. These are the input statements were used in that of C programming. And next one is of output statement. What are the output statements were used in this C? Printf, put string, and third one is of put char. These are the various input output statements were used in that of C programming languages. Okay, now I will write a simple C programming language where we can able to how we can use this C programming language. For example, I am going to write to check whether a person is eligible to vote or not. This is my program. Write a C program to check whether a person is eligible to vote or not. This is a for a sample example program. How we can able to write this C program. For example, first line already we shown. This is a procedure oriented language. So the first line will be that of header file, standard input output dot h. Okay, and second line will be that of main. Okay, and next one will be that of variable declarations. We need only one variable, that should be that of age. Age should be in that of number, so the data type should be that of integer. If I given the data type is name, I want to give the input as a name, then the data type should be that of char. If the data type should be that of marks or average, then the data type should be that of float. According to the input, we can able to access that data type. We have to assign that data type. So here I need to check whether the person is eligible to vote or not. So I taken the input only one, that should be that of age. So age should be that of number. So I assign the data type is as integer. Okay, and then next printf, enter the age. Scanf, percentage of D, address of age. Okay, therefore I just shown what has to be displayed in the output, so that should be given in that of inside the printf. And to get the input number, I just use a scanf, is the percentage D. This percentage D represent the data type. For example, it should be integer, so I just put here D. If it is float, I just put it as F. If it is character, I just put here C. So it is an integer, so I just put it as a percentage of D. Okay. Next, we have to condition check if age greater than or equal to 18. So if age is greater than or equal to 18, then what is the condition need to check? What will happen? Printf, person is eligible to vote. Else printf, appdi if condition is not failed, if condition is failed, then the person is less than 18 years means person is not eligible to vote. This is a simple C programming what we are writing. So first line will be that of header file, and second line is of variable declaration main, and third one is of variable declaration, then function declaration, then condition checking. If you open brace, n number of open braces can be identified. Okay, if I open one brace, then should close that brace. There should be two open braces, we need to two close braces. There should be condition should be checked. Okay, if condition is checked, if age is greater than 18, the person is eligible to vote, otherwise the person is not eligible to vote. That should be given in the printf, because whatever we given inside the printf, that should be shown in the output screen. That's why I just given in that of printf. Okay, this is a simple example of the C program, how we are writing the C program. Okay, this is a C. Next, I am going to take on decision making conditions. So what are the decision making conditions available in the C? In decision making condition, there should be of different types. First one is a if, and second one is a if else, and third one is a nested if else, and fourth one is a else if ladder, and fifth one is that of switch statement. These are the various decision making conditions that are available in the C. For example, first condition is a if condition is checked, if there should be a one condition, that condition true, that execution should be taken place. Okay, for example, for if condition, the syntax should be that of if condition satisfied, then what are the things we just given that should be execute here. This should be the condition for if condition. For if else, for if condition, for example, we just given if any condition need to check whether a number is greater than 10, if number is greater than 100, there we should be use the if condition. If else, there should be two possible outputs are there. If condition is true, this output will come. If condition is false, next false statement will print. Okay, that should be that of if else. For example, if greatest of two number is a good example for if else. If condition is if A is largest, then print A is the largest number, else B is a largest number as to print. That are the conditions should be needed by using that of if else condition. In that syntax, we just use if, need to check the condition. If condition is true, then the statement will execute, else false statement will execute. This is of if else. Okay, for if else, there should be the greatest of two number, person is eligible to what, find out the number is even or not. Like the program should be used that of if else conditions. And third one is that of nested if else condition. This third one, nested if else, is nothing but there should be more than two or three conditions for checking, where we can use that of nested if else conditions. For example, we need to assign a grade for the students according to their marks. Oh, for that conditions, we are using that of nested if else conditions. If a person is greater than 90, so they should be considered as O. If the person is 80 to 90, it should be considered as A plus, or it should be 70 to 80, should be A, or if a person is less than 50, it should be considered as U. For that, like that of conditions, we are using that of nested if else condition should be needed. Okay, and third one, fourth one is else if ladder. Else if ladder is nothing but we can give n number of conditions. It should be continuous more than 10. It should be more than 15 conditions. Conditions should be checked. That like that we can use that else if ladder. Next one is a switch statement. This switch statement is overcome the drawbacks of nested if else and else if ladder. In this switch condition, we can use a keyword. Based on that keyword, based on that case only execute, other than that case should not be executed. That is the main advantage of the switch. For example, in switch, this is a switch condition This is the syntax where case 1 statement, case 2 statement, like that it will be continuous up to case n. Okay. If the condition for case 2 for that keyword will be assigned, then the case 2, what are the conditions, what are the things we are given in that case 2, that should be printed. Other than that, case 1 up to case n, there should not be checked and there should not be executed. This is the main advantage of the switch condition. For example, I need to print the 12 months, I need to print any one of the month from that of 12 months. So I just given the case, like case 1 will be that of print of January, case 2 that of print of February, like that case 3 print of March. So I need to given the input as case input number will be that of 3. So the case 3, what is the thing is print of, I just given as of March. So March will be taken place. In this last word we just given as a break. When it is check that break, automatically the statement will come, the loop will out from that switch statement. This is the main advantage of that of switch statement. This is the different types of decision makings: if else, nested if else if later, and switch. These are the various decision making conditions where we can access this data. Okay, this. And next is a looping statements. What are the various looping statements are available in C? In C, there should be 3 looping statements are mainly we are using. One is while, and second one is a do while, and third one is a for loop. These are the 3 different looping statements where we are using this. First one is while, and second one is do while, and third one is a for loop. Okay, what is the condition? What is the use of syntax of a while? In while, condition is checked before inserting into that of loop. Okay, for example, while we are entering into the cinema theater, cinema ticket is necessary, so that is a condition. So we are entering into that loop. Before they enter into the loop, if the condition satisfy, then only it will execute into the loop. Okay, for example, while a greater than or equal to 10, then only if a value is 7, then this condition will true, it will will enter into the loop and will execute what are the things we are given inside the loop. If for example I just given a for 15, then the condition will false. Condition will false, we can't able to enter into the loop. Okay, this is the main this is a while loop. Okay, so before enter into that loop, we need to check the condition. If the condition is true, it will go inside the loop, otherwise it will not enter into the loop. This is a while conditions. Okay, for example, we need to see the cinema, we need ticket. If not have ticket, we won't allow for viewing the cinemas. That is a loop condition of the while loop. And second one is that of do while. What is happens in the do while? What is the difference between while and do while? While is a entry controlled loop and do while is a exit controlled loop. The condition is checked at the last statement. First it will print the statement, other than last only it will check the statement. Okay, in do while it will check the statement, it will print the statement. In the last one will, the last step will be, it will check the condition. Okay, this is the difference between the while and do while. Okay, where the statement should be printed first and then last only condition will be checked, then will be that of do while. For example, the example for that of do while is, we need to park the vehicle in the parking lot, in the parking system. So we first we see where the free space is available. We just park, then only we have to pay the money for, and this is one of the example for that of do while. Okay, for example, we go for DMart, first we get the products, what are the products are needed for buying, for purchasing, the products has to be getted, and last only we have to put the bill. This is a good example for that of do while. Okay, and third one will be that of for loop. in the for loop we have three conditions. For is a keyword, for example integer I equal to 0, I greater than or equal to n, I plus plus. This is the three things should be taken place in that of for loop. First one is the initialization, and this will be that of condition, and this will be that of increment or decrement. These are the three things will be taken place in that of for loop. For example, we need to continually print the numbers until it will condition fails. For that conditions we can use this for loops. Okay, for example, for I equal to 0, I greater than or equal to 10, I plus plus. So it will continually print the numbers from 0 to 10 until if you come the I value should be assigned to 11. If the I value will come 11, the condition will fail, so it will come outside the loop. So it will print the numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until it will print up to 10. This is the main advantage of that of for loop. Okay, this is a looping statement that should be taken place in that of C programming. Okay, for decision making statements, what are the decision making statements in taking place in C? If else, nested if else if later and switch. These are the decision making statements. For looping statement there should be while, do while, and for loops are taken place in that of looping statements should be taken place in that of C. Okay, and next we are going to see in the C is array. What is array? Array is a collection of datas. Array is a collection of similar datas. Okay, array is nothing but it is a collection of similar datas. How we can able to represent that array? It should be represented using array of any number. Okay, there should be this A will represent the array name followed by that of array size. This is array. Array is nothing but it is a collection of similar data. Okay, it is a static memory. It should not don't be the dynamic memory. What is the memory size should be given in here for the programming? That memory size should be used. For example, array of 10 means so we can able to store up to 10 numbers. If the 11th number will come, it won't store the data. Okay, array is always starts with the data of 0. This is a main thing should be taken place over the arrays. Okay, where this array should be used, for example, for collecting the student informations, for accessing the students for the data in that of register number wise likewise data should be arrays should be used in that formats. Okay, and next one will be that of pointer. What is a pointer? A pointer is a variable that hold the address of the another variable. Okay, for example, we are insist of accessing the data directly by accessing the address of the data. That should be the main values of that pointer. Okay, pointer will be represented by integer star a or integer address of a or tends to like this. We can initialize that pointers. Okay, it should be represented by star address or tends to. We can represent this pointer. So the pointer is a variable that hold the address of the another variable. Okay, that is the main usage of that pointer. Okay, and next one will be that of structure. What is structure? A structure is a collection of different data types. Array is a collection of similar data type, but structure is a collection of different data types. This is the main overcome the drawbacks of array. For example, I need to store the data types of integer, float, character into a single system. So from that, for that only I am using that of structure. For example, structure should be represented by struct is a keyword that should be used in the structure. Struct followed by that of structure name. The structure name should be the any name that should be given by ourselves. For example, I just given as a student. Okay, integer, I just given the roll number, char, name, float, average, like that I should be given. Here I just get the data types of integer, char, float. Therefore, three different data types of data has to be stored in the same function itself. That should be the main advantage of that of structure. But in integer it will access a single data types only. That is a drawback of that of array. Okay, to overcome that of drawback of array, I am using that of structure. Okay, and next one will be that of function. What is function? Function is here is used for repeating the storing of data. The function should be three types. One is function declaration, and second one is the function call, and third one is the function definition. Function definition. Okay, so this is the main types of function: function declaration, function call, and function definition, where we can access that functions. Okay, if the function is given before main, that should be named as a global function, global variables and global function. If the function is given inside the main, there should be that of local functions. Okay, for example, hash include stdio.h, add here we have to declare the functions. Declare should be in the first one. Okay, what the function we have to declare, what is the name here? Function add is a function declaration name. That name should be defined in that a function definition and function call. Okay, if there should be the without semicolon, there should be open brace and close brace is the opening, then it should be named as a function definition. The function name only no any variables are declared, then we can name it as the function call. This is a important steps of the functions. The functions have 3-4 different types: functions with the pointer and without argument, function with the argument and without argument, function with the argument with no return values, function with the argument and with return values, function without argument and with return values. These are the 4 different types of the functions were used for accessing that. Okay, next one will be that of call by value and call by reference. Call by value is nothing but we can access the data directly by using that data. In call by reference, we can able to access the data by using that of address. Okay, in call by value, the data should be, for example, integer swap a comma b. For example, call by values, for example, we just given the swapping concept, so we can able to access the data directly, then we call by call by value. By using that data, call by reference is used for address. By using the addresses access, that should be called by call by references. Okay, and next one will be that of string. What is string? String is nothing but it is a group of characters and end with that of null character 0. That is a string. Various operations are used in that of string. It should be of string compare, string copy, string concat, and then string append. These are the various operations that should be used in that of string. The main difference between that of string and character is string is overcome the disadvantage of the character data type. For example, we just given the name of Karthik space Kumar. In character data type, it will access only Karthik, not the Kumar. To overcome that only, I am using the data type as string. So we can able to access the data type as a string. It will access full data as a Karthik Kumar. This is a main advantage of the strings where we can able to use that. Okay, and next one will be that of file handling. In that file handling, we can use file handling methods like file append, file concat, and file compare for storing of for accessing a single data. So file can be used for collection of group of data can be accessed by using this file handling methods. So thank you, sir.